Hello, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of CATV Yoga to Go with Adam Yogi, our four-legged friend here, and these holy beings who have been gracious enough to come to support community yoga. We can all find a comfortable seat, sitting tall, bringing the awareness within, and inhaling for the vibration of Om. Taking this space to create an intention or offering for the practice and beyond. Drawing your intention to heart center. The inhalation, offering it up to that which you hold higher. And exhaling, grace home to the heart. Finding your way to your hands and knees. Curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. And pedaling it out, bending one knee and then the other. So the head and neck relax, gazing towards the ankles. Spiral through the arms, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, away from the spine. Settling into the stillness for 10 breaths. Lifted through the navel, tailbone, extending the heels earthward. Quadriceps engaged with that internal spiral. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. And inhale, expand. Inhale, stepping forward to low lunge. So toes aligned with the fingertips. If you're at home and you need blocks, that's fine. And the exhalation, drawing the right leg towards straight. So chin to shin, navel to spine. Maybe a slight adjustment of the hips to the right or left, opening, stretching any blockages. Into a brief cat-cow, inhale back to low lunge, and exhale, right leg towards straight. 2 more times. This next time forward, pressing through the feet, lifting the arms, torso to high lunge. Incorporating a gazing point, maybe to the floor, if you're slightly unsteady. Maybe to the wall or beyond, if you're as steady as a rock. Continuing to press the 2 knees away from one another. And on the exhalation, palms to the mat, right leg back to plank pose. And slowly through to Chaturanga. Simplified to the knees if you like, rolling it to the tops of the feet to up dog. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Exhale, knee to nose, navel to spine. And inhale, extend. Inhale, stepping forward to low lunge. And the exhalation, the left leg towards straight. So the left foot evenly grounded, the left toes relaxed, still lifted through the left arch. Into a brief cat-cow. Inhale, knee over ankle, gazing outward. And exhale, navel towards spine. 2 more times. This next time, forward, pressing through the feet, lifting the arms to high lunge. Still incorporating a gazing point to help stabilize and strengthen the pose. Exhale, palms to the mat, and the left leg back to plank pose. And slowly, slowly to chaturanga, to the tops of the feet to up dog, and curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog for 5 breaths. Still pressing down through the base of the forefingers. And walking the feet to the top of the mat, to the fingertips, to a half forward fold. And exhale to the palms to fold. Taking 5 breaths. Active in the legs, the palms to the mat, maybe a gentle lift through the navel. If you're at home and you'd like to bring your hands to blocks, please do that. Inhale, arms wide and overhead with a flat back. Now exhaling straight through to Utkatasana chair pose. So the knees, hips bent, extending the arms, the gaze between the palms. The toes relaxed. In-breath equal to out-breath through the nose. Exhale, fold, interlace. Maybe hands palm to palm, away from the low back. As you release the hands, the left leg back to high lunge. And exhaling to the drop knee flow. So hands to the heart as you descend towards the earth. Maybe knee to the mat. Inhale, arms wide and overhead as room allows. Next time to high lunge, pressing the right foot back to plank pose. Taking a few breaths in plank pose. And slowly to chaturanga for a few breaths, or to your variation. To the tops of the feet to up dog. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. Exhale wide to the right elbow. Inhale, expand. Inhale forward and rising to high lunge. Pressing off with the left foot to fold interlace. Inhaling, hook thumbs, pressing through the feet as you lift the heart. And exhale straight through to Utkatasana with grace. Next exhale, fold, interlace. And as you release the hands, the right leg back to high lunge. And exhale to the drop knee, flow over the left leg. Inhale equal to exhale through the nose. Get the mind distractible. Perhaps a gentle ujjayi breath or ocean sounding breath created by that partial constriction at the back of the throat. The next time to high lunge, exhale, palms to the mat and left leg back to plank pose for a few breaths. Everybody's doing beautifully. And to knees, chest, and chin. So with the hips slightly lifted, the elbows and toes curled under. Releasing the hips and tops of the feet to the mat, extending out through the chest to low cobra bhujangasana. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Two more breaths in down dog. Exhaling to the knees to extended child's pose. If there's any tension in the low back or hips, maybe slightly moving the hip side to side. Inhalation, coming back to all fours, curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Exhale, slow and wide to the left elbow. Inhale, expand. Inhale, forward and rising to high lunge. As you press off with the right foot to fold interlace. Inhale, hook thumbs, knees bent, press through the feet to lift the heart. And exhale straight through to Utkatasana, chair pose. Few more breaths in chair pose. Inhale, lifting the right knee to crane. And taking one another's hands. If you're at home, I don't know how I can help. And gently back to warrior three. So ideally, the heel and head higher than the heart. Resisting the temptation to clench the left toes. Still extending out through the right heel. Through the transition, a micro bend to the standing leg, inhaling back to crane. Releasing the hands to Krishna Asana, so the right leg crossing the left. The left arm lifts as you press the right hand in the opposite direction of the left. So the ball of the right foot grounded. The lower legs helping to stabilize the pose. Maybe the right heel pointing to the left. Exhale, top arm down in front of the face, inhaling back to crane. Taking one another's hands, extending the right leg straight out in front. So the left leg firmly grounded, maybe even more so as the right leg lifts a bit higher. And bending into both knees, pressing back to warrior three. Slowly releasing the hands, extending the arms straight out in front for a back bend. Wherever you are is perfect. Releasing the hands to the mat for standing split pose. So the right leg lifted. Maybe taking one or both hands to the left ankle. Standing split for 2 more breaths. Bring the hands to the mat, the right foot back to low lunge. Gaze forward, shoulder blades down the back as you expand the chest. Inhale, left leg back to down dog. And slowly out to the flow to plank pose. To Chaturanga. To Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And curling the toes under to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lifting the right leg. Exhale, crossing the heart to the left elbow. And inhale, stacking the hips. Right knee bends, right foot over the left side. Maybe gazing under the left armpit, seeing the right foot appear. And both palms equally grounded. The palms equally grounded, particularly through the base of the forefingers. Inhale, forward and rising to high lunge. As you press off with the left foot to fold, interlace. Inhale, hook thumbs, offering it up. And exhale straight through to Utkatasana, chair pose. Feet parallel. No tension to the neck as you perhaps gaze up between the palms. Inhale, lifting the left leg to crane pose. And taking one another's hands, gliding back to warrior three. You transition, micro bend to the standing leg, back to crane. Releasing the hands, crossing the left leg over right for Krishna Asana. So with the left leg across, expanding through the right side body. Exhale, top arm down and around, inhaling to crane. And taking one another's hands, extending the left leg out in front. Bending both knees, gliding back to warrior three pose. Releasing the hands, extending the arms long overhead. If you're at home, feel free to bring the fingertips to the mat to help stabilize. And now everybody releasing the fingertips to the mat for standing split. For greater challenge, one or both hands to the right ankle. Releasing the ankle of the left leg back to low lunge pose for 2 breaths. Inhaling back to down dog. Releasing to the knees to extended child's pose. Maybe moving the hips slightly. Inhaling out to the right forearm or palm for side plank pose. So the right forearm would come parallel to the top of the mat. Stacking or staggering the feet as you inhale, lifting the hips and left arm. The right elbow directly under the shoulder. Into the stillness or the flow. The flow, exhale, gazing under the armpit with the left hand following. The left hip a little higher, and inhale, expand. And the next exhalation to the left forearm or palm. Inhale, expanding out through the right side body. Into the stillness or the flow. If you're at home, you can simplify by bending the top knee or the right leg and placing the right foot behind the left. And the next exhalation, releasing the knees to the outside of the mat, the palms in prayer, maybe behind the hip, and opening through the backs of the upper arms for a tricep stretch. Inhaling out to the forearms, preparing for dolphin pose, or maybe headstand or another inversion. So curling the toes under the legs straight, hips lift, inching the toes a bit to the elbows, allowing the head to hang relaxed, gaze towards the ankles. For more challenge, maybe to dolphin push-ups. The nose and chin out beyond the hands, almost to the mat. And inhale, lifting. Two more breaths. And exhale, releasing the knees wide, palms in prayer for a tricep stretch. Inhaling to all fours. So palms under the shoulders, knees and feet hip width apart. Lifting the right arm and left leg. Maybe there's an internal spiral to the left thigh, so the toes point down, extending out from the left heel through the top of the head. Energetically engaged through the core particularly. Into a brief flow. Exhale, rounded navel to spine, chin to chest. And inhale, expand. Exhalation, maybe fingers wrist curled to the navel. And inhale, fingers lengthen, maybe palms even upturned as an offering. This next time expanded, bending the left knee, right hand to left ankle, gazing over the right shoulder. Doing your best to keep the hips square. Left palm still under the left shoulder. Inhale, extend for 2 breaths. As you release to all fours, curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg and stacking the hips. So exhale, slow and wide to the left elbow to pause. And inhale, stacking the hips. Exhale, slow and wide to the left to pause. Inhale, stacking the hips. exhale, left knee to the mat for pigeon pose. So the left knee in line with the hip, the right leg extended straight behind the right hip. Maybe coming out to the forearms and forehead with the long spine. The depth of the opening can be adjusted with the left foreleg, maybe more parallel towards the top of the mat, but no discomfort in the left knee. Attention inward to the breath, maybe the Ujjayi breath or breath of victory. Into the slight variation, walking the hands over, torso over to the right slightly. And coming back to center, pressing through the palms to come up, either remaining there or bending the right knee, the right hand and or left hand to the right ankle. Keeping the hips, shoulders squared forward, maybe engaging as you press down through the legs to lift up through the spine, chest a bit higher. Next exhalation, releasing, pressing back to three-legged down dog. So the left leg is lifted. Holding it out to the tops of the feet to up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and curling the toes under to down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana for 5 breaths. Exhale, releasing to the knees to extended child's pose for a few breaths. Inhaling to all fours. Align palms under the shoulders, knees and feet hip width apart. Lifting the left arm and right leg. Just as in down dog, no gripping with the fingers. Lifted through the center of the right palm. And exhaling to a brief flow. Navel to spine as you round. And inhale, gazing outward towards infinity. This next expansion, bending into the right knee, left hand to right ankle, gazing over the left shoulder. Be gently pressing the right ankle into the left hand for a deeper opening through the front of the right hip. And inhale, extend for 2 breaths. Releasing to the mat, curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg, extended. And stacking the hips. Releasing the right leg. Inhale, lifting the left leg. And stacking the hips. So exhale, crossing the heart to the right elbow to pause. And inhale, stacking the hips. Exhale to pause at the right elbow. And inhale, stacking the hips. And next exhalation to pigeon pose. It's not going to work. Over the right leg. So let's switch that up a bit. Let's bend the right knee forward. Taking pigeon over the right knee. Distracted by the dog. So no pulling in the knee. Maybe deepening the pose or adjusting the hips slightly. Perhaps to the variation over to the left. And slowly back to center, pressing to come up. Either remaining there or bending into the left knee, left ankle to one or both hands. And as you release, curling the left toes under, pressing the right leg back to three-legged down dog. Rolling it out to the tops of the feet to up, down. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. And for 3 more breaths. And down dog. 4 fingers still grounded. Exhale, releasing to the knees, sitting back to extended child's pose for a few breaths. Inhale, coming to sit up on the heels for a side bend. So sitting to the right side of the feet, bringing the left arm across the legs, tenting the left fingertips, and bringing the right hand behind the left occiput. Maybe the gaze following the uplifted right elbow. Maybe inching the left fingertips farther from the left hip. As you breathe into that space between grounded fingertips and lifted elbow. 2 more breaths. Exhale, slowly releasing, coming to sit back to center briefly. And over to the left. So with the right hand to the mat, the left to the right occiput, gazing upward to the left elbow. Attention to the subtleties of each breath. exhale, releasing, coming out to your hands and knees. And coming out to the forearms, stepping the feet back for forearm plank pose. And the feet hip width apart. So you're welcome to stay here if you like. Otherwise, the feet far enough apart, they don't touch through this flow. Coming to the outside of the right foot blade, inside of the left, the right hip hovering perhaps above the mat for a few breaths. Inhale to center and exhaling over to the left. Inhale to center, perhaps one more time, exhaling to the right or to a tricep stretch. Inhale to center and exhaling a final time to the left. Inhale to center and releasing the knees wide, heels together, palms behind the head to a tricep stretch. Inhaling out onto the belly, turning the head to one side, arms alongside the body for a few breaths. So bringing all of our awareness and attention to the gentle rise and fall of the belly on the mat. And preparing for low cobra pose, Bhujangasana. So bring the forehead to the mat, palms under the shoulders. The lower body grounded, toes pointing straight back. Inhale, lengthening out and up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe the upper body slightly lifted off the mat. Little or no weight into the hands. Just enough to create that outward spiral, drawing the shoulder blades farther down the back. Maybe even gazing downward slightly, extending more through the top of the head, then lifting the chin. Two more breaths. Tops of the feet still grounded. Exhale, releasing head to opposite ear. Arms alongside the body for a few breaths. And preparing for half locust or Ardha Shalabhasana. Bring the chin to the mat, arms under the body. And on the inhalation, lifting the right leg, extending out through the heel. So the right knee is straight, the left leg is relaxed, the breath is relaxed, and expanding that relaxation through the whole body while still maintaining the uplifted right leg. Exhale, releasing the right leg. Inhale, extending out and up through the left. Awareness to both the extension and relaxation. maybe sensations and sounds of the breath. And exhale, releasing the left leg, turning the head to one side for 2 breaths. Returning the chin to the mat, arms under the body for the full pose. Lifting both legs up and off the mat, keeping the weight in the upper body by pressing the forearms towards the feet, chin still weighted. Toes pointing straight back, not turning the feet in or out. Two more breaths. And exhale, releasing the legs, the arms from under the body, and pressing through the palms to come up onto your back, simply flipping over for a bridge pose. So with the heels to the buttocks, feet parallel. Pressing the navel into the mat, engaging that pelvic rotation, then pressing through the feet, rolling up, interlacing the fingers, hands palm to palm towards the heels, maybe even the pinkies to the mat. Awareness to the upper chest, heart lifted. One more inhalation. As you exhale, releasing the hands, maybe lifting the heels, engaging the core as you roll it back to the mat. Tailbone to the mat, last gently, rocking the knees side to side. So the hips now to the mat, knees gently, side to side. And bring the knees to center and into the chest, wrapping the arms, the head to the knees for a gentle belly squeeze. To release the head to the mat, taking the feet in either hands for happy baby pose. So the ankles over the knees. Drawing the feet, knees earthward. Maybe gently rocking it side to side. And to figure 4 pose, so releasing the feet, right ankle to left thigh. Drawing the hands behind the left thigh, and the hands inward toward the torso. Then outward spiral through the right elbow for a deeper hip opening. Maybe the right ankle to a right angle, keeping any tension out of the right knee. Even closing the eyes, envisioning a color with the breath, and directing it to any points of tension, obstruction, or garantes. Releasing the left thigh, preparing for reclining eagle twist. So the right leg once or twice over the left. Scooting the hips to the right, knees to the left. Maybe the elbows bent as we're limited on space. So both shoulders to the mat. Next inhalation, slowly back to center. Unraveling the legs, squaring the hips. Into figure 4 on the other side, the left knee into the chest, rotating from the hip, not the knee. Left ankle to right thigh. Tapping into that opposition of forces, the hands towards the torso, and the left elbow away. Releasing the hands for reclining eagle, left leg once or twice over the left. Hips to the left, knees to the right. If you're at home, you can even simplify by not interlacing the legs, just simply keeping the ankles and knees together. Maybe adjusting the hips or torso so both shoulders still to the mat. No tension or strain, particularly between any two vertebrae. Maybe tapping into the power of visualization, to the color, the breath, any points of obstruction or holding. Inhale slowly back to center, unraveling the legs. If your body's calling for remaining pose, now is the time. If you're at home and you'd like to put your lower legs maybe up on a chair or your legs up the wall. For those here, I'm sorry, we don't have a wall. The feet slightly apart, arms a bit away from the body with the palms turned up, allowing the shoulders to soften into the mat. Returning your awareness to your original intention you've created for this practice and beyond. It's all practice. Incorporating the intention with the breath. Inhalation, spark from heart center outward to the periphery of the skin. And exhaling back to that eternal light. Inhale, expanding slightly beyond the flesh. Exhaling back to the light. The whole body breathing. The whole body breathing. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Taking your time to awaken the body, wiggling the digits. Inhale, stretching the arms long overhead, bending the knees, and finding your way on to your right side for a few moments. An offering from the golden present by Swami Satchidananda. Get into their boat. Question: how do I know the difference between going with the flow and being out of control? Sri Gurudev: that's where you should learn to apply moderation. Be neither too tight nor too loose. If you can't figure it out by yourself, seek the aid of someone who can help you. Consult a more experienced person. Every situation you come across will be different. When you say go with the flow, do you mean the flow of the world? If so, then that's not a good idea. Don't just go with the flow of the world. Go with the flow of the people who are going in the right direction. Join them. Get into their boat. The company you choose will help you in many, many ways. Unfortunately, in the name of making a little money or feeding ourselves, we sometimes put ourselves in a terrible situation or in the wrong atmosphere. We think that finding a little food and getting some money are the most important things. It's not so. Saving yourself, raising your standards, serving others, maintaining your peace, these are the most important things in life. For the sake of these things, you should learn to give up anything that's not necessary and to hold on to anything that is useful. If you really want to go with the flow of God, surrender yourself completely to Him. That requires real courage. Surrendering is not easy. You have to positively say, whatever comes to me is God's will. I'm ready to face it, ready to accept it, whatever it is, good or bad, wonderful or terrible. And in your own time, finding your way to a comfortable seat. Inhaling for a closing vibration of Om. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. Salutations to the remover of obstacles that lives within us all. Thank you, everybody at home, and thank you, holy beings here. Namaste, 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 namaste. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Yogi.